My mom always said she loved us equally, but she proved that was a lie on our joint birthday. She parked a brand new, screaming yellow Lamborghini in the driveway for my sister, then handed me a cheap, second-hand bicycle. I was supposed to be grateful, but honestly, I just felt worthless. That feeling, however, wouldn't last. Because what happened next was a brutal lesson in karma that my sister and my parents would never forget. It was our joint birthday party, a tradition my parents insisted on even though my sister Chloe and I are 2 years apart. They claimed it was more efficient. The reality, it was just another stage for Chloe to shine on and for me to fade into the background. Our whole lives had been a masterclass in favoritism, but this year, my mother decided to go for the gold. The whole family was in the backyard. My mom, beaming, gave a grand speech about her two wonderful children and how proud she was. Then, with a flourish, she blindfolded Chloe and led her to the front of the house. I was told to just wait here for a minute. I knew exactly what that meant. This wasn't about me. It never was. A moment later, I heard gasps and cheers from the front yard, followed by my sister's theatrical shrieking. My stomach twisted into that familiar knot of dread as I walked through the house, and there it was. A Lamborghini Huracan gleaming under the sun like a monument to my own failure. A massive Red Bull was perched on its hood. Chloe was already in the driver's seat, revving the engine while her friends swarmed the car, phones out, recording her coronation. My mom finally noticed me standing there, a ghost at my own party. She walked over, her smile a little strained, as if my presence was an inconvenience. "Happy birthday, honey," she said, handing me a small, greasy box. Inside wasn't a key. It was a rusty set of Allen wrenches and a tire patch kit. "It's in the garage," she said, already turning back to admire Chloe's new throne. Tucked in a corner, behind a stack of old tires, was a bicycle. It wasn't just any bike, it was a pathetic, obviously used mountain bike with scuffed handlebars and a chain that looked like it had been pulled out of a lake. A sad, drooping balloon was tied to the seat. I was turning 18, my sister, on her 16th birthday, got a car that cost more than a house. I got a symbol of how little I mattered. When you're a kid, you equate gifts with love, and in that moment, the message was painfully clear. My mother didn't just favor my sister, she barely saw me at all. This wasn't new. It was just latter. The favoritism was the background noise of my childhood. I remember the year I won the state science fair. I'd worked for months on my project. I came home with a blue ribbon, my heart pounding with pride. I showed my mom, hoping for, I don't know, a hug. A "well done," she glanced at it. "Oh, that's nice, dear," she said, and taped it quickly to the fridge. We had leftover pizza for dinner. 2 weeks later, Chloe came home with a participation trophy from a dance competition where she placed 7th out of 9. My mother threw a surprise party. She had the trophy professionally engraved and invited all our relatives, giving a tearful speech about Chloe's dedication. My science fair certificate eventually got knocked off the fridge and disappeared. The inequality was everywhere. When it was time for high school, my parents sat me down and explained that money was tight, so the local public school would have to do the next year. Chloe decided she wanted to go to Northwood Prep, an elite private academy. Suddenly, money wasn't an issue. My parents took out a second mortgage to cover her tuition. Their excuse, "Chloe is more sensitive," my mom would say. "She needs a more nurturing environment." I wasn't sensitive. I was resilient. But resilience is just a nice word for the quality that lets you put up with neglect. It wasn't a compliment. It was an expectation. My chore list was a full page long. Chloe's only chore was to keep her room tidy, which our mom usually ended up doing for her anyway. If I ever tried to point out the difference, I'd get the same tired line, "Why can't you just be happy for your sister?" They didn't want me to be like her. They needed me to be the responsible one so she could be the star. Standing in that garage, staring at that sad little bike, I didn't feel angry anymore. The anger had burned out, leaving a cold, hollow emptiness. But as Chloe's friends honked her new supercar's horn, a new feeling flickered to life. It wasn't anger, it was resolve. I was done. Done trying to earn their love, done playing a game I was never meant to win. If they were going to treat me like I was on my own, then that's exactly where I'd be. I tried to talk to my mom one last time, a few days after the party. Chloe was out with the Lamborghini, of course. "Mom," I started, "can we talk about the gifts?" She didn't even look up from her tablet. "What about them?" "I hope you're not still sulking, Alex. You should be happy for your sister." Happy for her. I could feel my voice rising. She got a car worth over $200,000. I got a second-hand bike. Don't you see how that feels? I was practically begging for just a shred of understanding. She finally put the tablet down, her face a mask of annoyance. "You're being dramatic. Your sister loves cars. You like being outside." I thought it was practical. Honestly, this jealousy is just so disappointing. And that was it. That was the moment I knew for sure. It wasn't just favoritism, it was a total refusal to see my side of things. In her story, she was the perfect mother and I was the ungrateful kid. From that day on, something in me shifted. I stopped trying to get their approval. I put my head down and focused on my escape plan. That pathetic little bicycle became my key. At first, riding it felt humiliating. But soon, that feeling was replaced by something else, power. Every push of the pedal was a push away from that house. I started riding further and further, exploring trails for miles, putting both physical and mental distance between me and my family. The bike wasn't just for escape, it was my workhorse. I got a job at a cafe across town and biked there every day, rain or shine. I was saving every penny. While Chloe was asking for gas money, I was quietly building a future. Meanwhile, Chloe was living the life our parents gift-wrapped for her. She treated the Lamborghini not like a precious gift, but like a right. She was reckless, racing friends down suburban streets and collecting speeding tickets that my parents would quietly pay off. She never washed it, letting fast food wrappers pile up on the expensive leather. She didn't get its value because she never did a single thing to earn it. Our lives were complete opposites. She'd post filtered photos leaning against her car with captions like #bossbabe and #hardwork pays off. The irony was staggering. I was actually working. I was up at 5 a.m. for a ride. Then school, then an evening shift at the cafe, then homework until midnight. I was exhausted, but for the first time, I felt like I was in control. My parents saw my long hours away not as ambition, but as me being difficult. My mom would sigh and say, "I just don't know what to do with Alex anymore." They couldn't imagine I was building a life that didn't revolve around them. The bike became my passion. I started upgrading it with my own money, a new chain, better tires, a lighter frame. I joined a local cycling club and found a community that knew me as Alex, the guy who could crush a 50-mile ride before breakfast, not just Chloe's brother. I even started entering amateur races. The thing that was meant to be a symbol of my worthlessness had become the source of my strength. It was a quiet revolution no one in my family even noticed. The downfall came on a Saturday night. It was swift, inevitable, and utterly brutal. Chloe was at a party, bragging about how fast the Lamborghini could go. Someone challenged her to a street race. For Chloe, a challenge to her ego was one she could never back down from. She was speeding down a winding, dangerous road, way too fast, drunk on her own arrogance. She took a sharp curve too wide. The car spun out, smashed through a guardrail, and flew into a ravine. The first call was from my mom, who was hysterical. All I could make out were the words Chloe, accident, and hospital. My first feeling was a spike of fear she was still my sister. But that was quickly followed by a grim sense of inevitability. It was always a matter of when, not if. When I got to the hospital, Chloe was lucky. She'd walked away with just a broken arm and some bruises. She was alive. The car, however, was totaled. A mangled wreck. Then came the second blow. A few days later, the insurance company called. Because she was street racing, her policy was void. They wouldn't pay a dime. My parents were on the hook for the entire loan. A car that no longer existed had just financially ruined them. That's when they turned to me. A week later, my parents sat me down at the kitchen table. "Alex," my dad began, "we're in some trouble." My mom jumped in. "It's the car, honey. The insurance won't cover it. We don't know how we're going to make these payments." I just sat there waiting. Then came the line I knew was coming. "We were hoping," my mom whispered, "that you might be able to help. We know you've been working so hard and you have your savings, ... double quotes. They wanted my money. The money I had earned biking through the rain, working double shifts, my ticket out, my college fund. They wanted me to sacrifice my future to clean up the mess they made by spoiling my sister. I looked at them, and I felt nothing. No anger, no pity, just calm, clear certainty. I took a deep breath. "No," I said. The word just hung there. My mom looked like I'd slapped her. "No, what do you mean? No, we're your family, am I?" I shot back, my voice steady. "My whole life, you've made it clear I'm a distant second to Chloe. You spent a fortune on her school, her car, her life." I looked at them, and I felt nothing. No anger, no pity, just calm, clear certainty. I took a deep breath. "No," I said. The word just hung there. My mom looked like I'd slapped her. "No, what do you mean? No, we're your family, am I?" I shot back, my voice steady. "My whole life, you've made it clear I'm a distant second to Chloe. You spent a fortune on her school, her car, her life. You gave her everything and taught her that actions have no consequences. You taught me that my only option was to work hard." I stood up. "You didn't just give her a Lamborghini and me a bike. You gave her a life without responsibility and told me to fend for myself. So I did. The money I have, I earned. It's for my education, something you were never willing to fund." I glanced toward the garage, where my bike was leaning against the wall. "That bike was the best gift you ever gave me. It taught me I can only rely on myself. And it's going to carry me right out of here." I told them I had just won a major regional cycling championship. The prize money, plus my savings, was enough for a down payment on an apartment near the university I'd been accepted to with a full academic scholarship they didn't even know I'd applied for. "Chloe crashed the car," I said, turning to face their stunned silence. "You bought the car. This is your problem. You wanted me to be responsible, and this is me being responsible for my own future. It's a lesson you should have taught her a long time ago. Karma can be brutal." I moved out the next week. My parents were silent. Chloe had to get a minimum wage job to help pay down the debt, a reality check that hit her harder than the crash. My parents had to sell the house and downsize. Our relationship is strained, almost non-existent. They still don't get it. They see my refusal to bail them out not as a consequence of their actions, but as my betrayal. But I'm not looking back. I'm in my first year of university, studying engineering. My bike, once a symbol of neglect, is now my most prized possession. It's not just how I get around, it's a reminder. A reminder that sometimes the things meant to break you are the very things that make you strong. They handed my sister the keys to a fast and easy life, and she crashed it. They handed me a challenge, and I rode it straight to freedom. If this story resonated with you, and you believe in the power of overcoming a tough spot, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had a moment that completely changed your path.